Welcome to our 5 on 5 feature interview segment. We're so pleased to have Dr. Nancy Golden here today. You're the Chief Education Officer for Oregon. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
How long have you held this position?
Well, I've held this position since August.
And so that's very exciting. How's it been going for you so far?
It's been great. I've been moving around the state and hearing about great programs and people's dreams and concerns.
And this is a very kind of interesting time for the state of Oregon as far as education is concerned. What are some of the challenges you've been faced with in your time in office?
Well, I think what we're all focused on is the 40-40-20 goals, which 40% of our kids getting BA degrees, getting 4-year degrees, 40% getting 2-year degree, and 100% graduating from high school, with 20 going directly into the world of work with skills. So that's the vision, and so what we're faced with is really figuring out how are we going to get children there and how do we provide support for the kids who are behind, so we really do realize this dream for all students.
It's an ambitious goal, and of course, a very important goal for everyone, not just those involved in education, but everybody's affected by it. So have you guys set out sort of a game plan as to how to get schools up to that benchmark?
Well, I'd say the first thing we did was to create the Oregon Education Investment Board, and that's the board that's responsible for making sure we meet key targets and getting our students there. So, and then once we have the board and the focus on these targets, now we're thinking about what are strategic investments we can make to really support students moving seamlessly from early intervention to making sure there's full-day kindergarten, to making sure all students can read at 3rd grade, and at 9th grade they're on track to graduate, meaning they have 6 credits and that they get some college credits in high school so they see what college is all about and they can move seamlessly into college. So, that's part of our real strategy, is just really understanding those targets, coming together, finding the best practices, and then scaling them up.
And I know one of the challenges in implementing these types of goals is getting teachers to implement them in the classroom. That's what it's all about, right? And teachers are faced with a lot right now because there's these new state standards, but also the federal government has the new Common Core standards, which is this kind of across-the-board federal goals for teachers and students to meet. What are your thoughts about the Common Core standards?
Well, I think the Common Core standards are really focused on the right thing, which is to not only make sure our students have skills, but they're thinking that, they're really working on the thinking skills, the problem-solving skills, the creativity pieces. So much less about facts and much more about how do you analyze, how do you take information, how do you create new things from it. So I think they're really good. It's interesting when you say schools have challenges. I think for me it's really about communities with challenges, because it's going to take communities to really wrap their arms around. And since I've been in this region, I've seen incredible things. I just learned about what your station's doing around helping with co-curricular, and the Rotary helps with early reading, and there's all of these groups. So it does mean having our teachers really focused and the quality teachers, but it's really about all these other programs and what communities are doing. That's when we're going to move the dial, and it's about the state shaking the hands with these communities and saying we're going to provide support and we're going to provide investment for it.
Sure. Dr. Nancy Golden, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to our 5 on 5 feature interview segment. We're so pleased to have Dr. Nancy Golden, the Chief Education Officer for the state of Oregon. Thank you so much for being here today. We were just talking about some of the goals that Oregon has as far as getting kids ready for college and getting kids ready for the real world. We know that there are schools that have challenges with families who are low income and parents are at work. And what would you say to parents as far as, a busy parent? How can they best help their kids reach some of the goals that their schools are setting out for them?
Well, what I would say is start young, start at birth, and read with your children, interact with them. As students are reading at grade level, by 3rd grade, they have 3 times as much of a chance of going to college. So that early literacy is really a predictor of everything else to follow. So if a parent can just find the time to read every night with their child and start, looking at pictures and having their children retell the story, it is going to make a tremendous difference. And if we get children reading by 3rd grade, think of all the money we spend on remediation that we can put towards richer programs for all of our students. So that's the key, I think.
All right, very good. I want to thank you so much again for coming here, Doctor. And it was great to meet you, Chief Education Officer for the state of Oregon.
Right. Yeah,
thank you so
you.
much, and good luck to you in your time in your post.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.